we had this conversation as it related to Hit Boy, and I've been on certain social media platforms here and there, casual conversation, and we talked about sample packs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a new wave, and it's very lucrative in today's sound, sculpting today's sound. But I saw a comment where someone said, as it relates to people that literally play, we'll say chord progressions, right? Some of these sample packs are just a whole bunch of chord progressions that are already played out.
Right. MIDI packs.
Drag them over, MIDI packs, and we good. You can insert a different sound. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And I saw a comment where it says, well, there's just the same amount of talent in dragging and dropping as it is a musician that plays it, plays those out. And then what their argument was, well, he still had to select that one. I don't know if I agree with that. No, I don't agree with that at all. And
no,
from a person that can speak on that, and that, you know, I play a lot of my stuff,
right?
But I'll also reach out to people that might be able to play better than me that I can't do.
Right.
Have no ego with that. But from a skill level standpoint, those are not the same.
No, they're not.
And I see people that answers to a test.
I see people vouching for it though. Don't get caught up in the wave.
Mm-hmm.
And take away from the essence of what it actually is. That's my thing. The wave is cool. It's evolution. Ain't nothing I can do about that. Yeah. But when you talk about a talent standpoint, just because you say, well, he picked that one, it's not the same thing to me.
Because the thing is to your point, not only do you have to play when you don't pick them.
Yep.
I mean, you still do. Like, you're picking the melody that you're making in your head.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's different from just scrolling through a folder. It's completely. The reason why I can 100% agree with you is because, one, I am a producer too. We both are, and I 100% agree. But this is something I tell my students all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I teach music production, and it's a lot of times I make it an intentional thing when people get in my class to say, look, if you just want to go to Splice and put stuff together, I can show you how to do that.
Yeah.
In 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to know how to make that stuff, if you want to know how to live beyond that and actually like create something bigger than
soundscape.
Yeah, something that's you. If you want to be able to make those packs, if you don't want to have to be, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't want to have to dependent. Yes, depending on that, and you want to be able to create that. Then that's what I'm going to teach you, because you're going to get more out of it. So I 100% agree. There's no comparison.
And with the sample packs, it's a part of it. So far be it for me to say I'm not stupid. I know what it is and what it accomplishes. Right. So
if you can use them and you're dope too.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we talked about Hit Boy. I'm like, okay, Hit Boy is dope without those. Yeah. I know that. We know that.
Right.
So when you throw him the lob and he can put his own sauce on it, it's a wrap.
Yep.
So for the people that are listening that don't quite get what a sample pack is, what would be the difference between a sample pack that somebody's creating music from and an actual sample from a song that somebody used and cut up and made their own?
Well, a sample pack would be, if we pick the same sample out, right? If I go pick a record, chop through a record or something, and I find a sample in it, the sample pack person has already dug through and found the quote unquote break or the dope part and just threw it over in a folder.
Mm-hmm.
Versus me sitting there and actually dissecting the record and finding the pieces that I want to make what I want. It's almost like you don't have to go through sifting through the record to find the break or to find where you want to go in at. It's already set up for you.
But even further from that, most sample packs aren't going through records, which is obviously part of the process, right?
Well, yeah.
But most sample packs are literally musicians making stuff for producers.
Those are the biggest ones. Facts. Those are the biggest ones.
It's literally like instead of like even different from chopping a record, right? So if you chop a record up, you're at least going through an album, a song, you're doing some digging, right? That's where digging in the crates comes from. So you're digging, you're looking for that piece. And it's like, shouts to Pete Rock. He said, you know, there's something in everything. That's what he said. And there is. And there's an art to being able to find that piece. And so what sample packs do is that it gives you, you don't have, you skip that step.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's already doing that step for you, saying, this is the dope piece.
Somebody pretty much gave you their ear.
For sure.
And what changed the game, to his point, is the interpolations or the replay. When you get a whole group of live musicians that come in there and just jam, and they turn that into 12 or 13 loops that you can drag and drop, man, you 3/4 of the way home.
Yeah. So I mean, there's different levels to it. There's sample packs where it's just chops from other records. Like shouts to Maker, who from 𝗀𝗲𝗱 𝗛𝗲𝗱 in Chicago. Like he's got, I've got one of his packs, but he just went through and chopped a bunch of really dope loops. But the stuff that I'm personally interested in, and you know, it's the same thing you're talking about. Like I preach to my students, like, stay away from sample packs until you're good enough to make them.
There you go.
And because at that point, you know, like, bro, I'm not trying, like, the goal with all this stuff is to be creative and to be unique and to be yourself. Like, don't like, you know, like if you can't flip a sample pack to make it sound completely different, like, you know, you have to learn that skill. And I think that's the part that you are kind of like speaking on and that I speak on a lot. And many producers are speaking on. It's like, it's not like don't use sample packs. It's like, just don't use it as a crutch.
Not as a crutch, and not very recognizable as either. Like, remember when that Sango sample pack came out and people were beating it to death?
Yeah, you got some dope drums.
That same.
Hear it on everything.
Yeah, you knew exactly. You knew it was Sango as soon as you heard it.
And be clear, a lot of these sample packs is getting flipped. A lot of people are using the same ones.
Yep.
And you hear a lot of the same melodies popping up here and there.
There are some really dope ones out there, though.
They are. Agreed.
Know, I'm not going to throw any names out there right now, but there's for, I don't know, but
no, that's the one. I saw that kind of got my blood pressure up a little bit because he was adamant about it. Like, it's the same thing. It's just I knew which one to pick. I'm like, fam, come on, man.